Good evening and welcome along to another episode of this Wigan Beta live stream series. We're 3 away from the end of the week and the end of the season, and today's a big one. This is going to determine whether we're going to be challenging for that top 2 or falling away into the playoffs, and perhaps, if worse comes to worse, even worse than that, because we're only 7 points clear. But we are flying. We're 1 point off Hull now after a couple of strong results against the 2 bottom sides. Or they were at the time, Northampton now 22nd. But most importantly, as we promised the other day, we've had transfer deadline day. And that means we have got some massive, massive news. Because we said we were scouting for certain positions and some of them we filled with real quality. And I mean real quality. So good evening, welcome along. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all keeping happily. Please do put a thumbs up on it if you're new along. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you to all the regulars if you're coming in as always. And come and get involved in the chat. Let me know how you're doing, who you're managing and who you support. Harry, good evening. Good to have a regular in as well. Appreciate your support with that. Thank you for popping in this evening. It's Friday night. I'm hoping it'll be a nice, calm, relaxed one for most of us. But I don't know if the games are going to fall for me that nicely. I'm going to take you through some of the transfer first. I'll just give a minute because a couple more just creeping in. And we'll talk about the 2 games we played off camera quickly. So after those, well, a pretty disastrous 4 games last night where we didn't score a goal. We conceded 2, kept 2 clean sheets. But it wasn't great. Let's be honest. There's no bones about it. We came back with a 2-0 win away from home at Northampton. Jack Clark got both of those. Quite fortunate goals. We didn't do much to create it. And then against AFC Wimbledon we won 2. And you might see a couple of faces in there. One unfamiliar new name and one very familiar one if there's any Wigan fans in. And that leads us into this Oxford game. So we're going to have to talk through these transfers. Tom, I can't show you the cat's not in at the moment, unfortunately. He's having a lovely time downstairs by the back door. Likes watching the rain more than going out in it. But I spent all day yesterday, so you picked the wrong day, I'm afraid. About 5 hours of sleep yesterday. But thank you everyone creeping in. Great to have you all here. I do appreciate you coming in this evening. Friday night. Plenty of football on later as well. I've got to choose between Spanish and Scottish football. Hello Gary, welcome along. I'm sure there'll be a few thinking it's Friday. I'm actually one of the ones disappointed because I know I'm back to work on Monday. So I want the week to go slower. But hey ho, there we go. Let's go to transfers. There's no point holding it up. Carlos Sanchez has agreed to leave and go to Poland at the end of the season. We've also managed to get a few out of the club. So, if we look at these, Abate left last episode. Nathan Dyer went to Ross County. Cal Naismith to Blackpool for $37,000. Looks like he's going to be a championship player with them next year. Gary Roberts went to Northampton and Joel Lynch to Dundalk over in Ireland, who of course featured in the Europa League. How you doing? Good evening. Nice to see a new face in. Thank you for popping along. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Harry managing Luton first season missed out on a playoffs and goal difference. Well, I might end up managing them, depending on how the vote goes for the live stream series when the full game's released. But if not, I'll probably do something with them off camera. Might do a Christmas week episode or something like that. Might do a mobile series later in the year. We'll see. But yeah, definitely try and find something with Luton. But thank you all for creeping in. Thank you for saying hello. And I hope you're all enjoying It's Friday. I'm the only one who's probably not. But after those sales, we managed to free up some spaces in the squad. We've got to try and keep the wage bill under wraps with this salary cap. And we got 4 deadline day signings. Now the first 2 are first teamers. And the other 2 are kind of essentials due to some of the logistical things. So Anthony Robinson, who left for Fulham in the summer, when they were in administration, has come back to us. 4-star ability, $6,000 a week we're contributing to his wages. And he is a very good left back at this level. Already got man of the match in his first game. And fullbacks traditionally underrated in this year's in terms of match rating. So he's definitely going to be a star. There's no doubt about it. And the other one was Sam Gallagher. We've talked about Ryan Shotton's long throw. We've talked about Lang struggling for goals when playing as the number 9. And Joe Garner's falling off a cliff and picking up injuries. So to get in a 6'4" target man who's got a little bit of pace and physicality seems like a good idea. He's fairly professional. He's a good character. I remember him bursting on the scene at Southampton many years ago. So hopefully he'll be alright. Tom, how is Dominic Soboslai rated? Let me have a look. You were just trying to give me the hardest name to pronounce, I think, weren't you? He's at RB Salzburg. Very good wonder kid. Yeah, he's a wonder kid, Tom. One of the best. Centre midfielder, can play off the left and number 10. If he gets a couple of boosts to each of those as he progresses, he'll be up there with sort of the top midfielders. Yeah, he looks a proper prospect. Very good mentally for a young player as well. The two other loan signings we got in, because we had to take so many out of the squad to fit the two big money ones in, we're into double figures as well. Thank you all for coming along. Samurai, good evening. Thank you for coming and saying hello. In double figures within 5 minutes. Your support's great. Please chuck a thumbs up on it if you haven't already, as we've got a lot to get through today. But Harvey White came in from our parent club Tottenham, as did Malachi Walcott. And that's just because we were selling Lynch, we were selling Roberts and Naismith. We had to take Martin Craney back out of the squad, and we had to take Palmieri out of the squad. So it just gave us a bit of depth, really. But let's move on. And we lost Matty Palmer's loan as well, don't forget. But we've got Oxford today. They've moved up to 15th. Now, I was going to play this one off camera, but because we'd won 2 in a row, I always fear when you play the sort of mid-table and above teams, if you keep winning them, people start making accusations. So I thought, let's do it on camera, then no one can argue. We've got Ryan Shotton in the team purely for his long throw now, and everyone else seems fairly settled. Gilmore's out with a knock, Otterbour's out with a knock, Joe Garner's missing and out of the squad now, and we've put Craney back in just because we sold Lynch. Fills the wage quota. If I could have fit Garner in, I would, but he's on a bit more money. So what it means is we've brought in Duffy on the right wing for Clark, who drops to the bench. Gilmore's been replaced by Harvey White, like for like with the 5 loanees. And I think the other one, Otterbour, was out the previous game. So Tom Pearce on the bench. He's not particularly happy, but it's a good enough squad. Lang scored off the left at the weekend. Or in midweek, I should say, rather. And Harvey White's coming in, hoping to make an impression. So into the game at Oxford, we've scored 2 goals in each of the last 2 games, and we'd like that to continue ideally. Craig, did we write some predictions this week? We did. So as well as doing our normal Championship podcast predictions, we featured on one. I think it's called Off the Line Blog, if I remember rightly. So it's great for our podcast to be getting that recognition now. We featured on another one that will be coming out next week. So we are starting to get a bit more work, which is fantastic for us. Oh, Tom, Arsenal are heavily linked with him. I didn't know that. I would suggest he's going to be a good one, to be honest. Craig, keep going, Harry Herbert. Come on, you hatters. There you go. But Tom, you also wanted to trip me up, as I suspected. Very kind of you to do so on a Friday night as well. So let's get the arms outstretched. Let's tell them to pick up where they finished the last one. And let's close down Matty Taylor. We know he's a good centre forward. Although he's not letting me do it for some reason. I can't do anything about it. That's bizarre. Maybe it got done already. We've got a little knock as well early doors. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. But thank you for everyone along. Please chuck a thumbs up on it. Thank you for your support with the Bangor City episode this afternoon as well. I hope you're enjoying that one. The head coach is still going really well, so I'm glad you're into that series too. Both of them have started on fire this year, so I'm really looking forward to it. There's some big controversies to come in both next week, actually. I'm already about a week ahead of the recordings because I'm going back to work. Lang's in. Oh, how's he missed that? 6 yards out. He's put it straight to the keeper. The whole goal was gaping. That's appalling. Have Hull got Aaron Connolly on loan? Is that Brighton's Aaron Connolly? It is. That's a very good signing at League One level. Not that he scored for them until then. As Kelly puts the ball into the back post, Tilt heads away. And Duffy picks it up on the right. And finally, the international break's over, so club football back tomorrow. Gallagher's into the box. Can he shoot? He's brought down. That's a pen. Has to be a penalty kick. Who's going to be taking it? It is a left footer. Harvey White. Well, he's only just joined the club, and I haven't changed the takers. So he can't have been there on the settings, but we do not care because he's put it in the back of the net. And as long as that's the case, anyone can take them. That's all I wanted to see. I wonder what his penalty taking rating is, as he's taking the free kicks as well. Into Ryan Shotton. And he hits the bar. He was offside as it happens. But a fantastic start to the game. Absolutely look on fire at the moment. With 36 minutes gone, we couldn't be much happier with the position we're in. So hopefully you're enjoying it because we're in a good shape. And it's not often we start a game this well. So I hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. Let me know who you're supporting in this weekend's fixtures. We're going to tell the lads there's still room for improvement. We don't want them getting arrogant at this stage, do we? We want to keep them on their toes a little bit. But hopefully you're getting on well. Hopefully we can score again here. Ryan Shotton over the bar. 2 free headers he's had. He really should have done better, to be honest. And with an hour on the clock, we've absolutely pasted them. And again, we're wondering how it's only 1-0. And now Oxford have got a throw in. And I know where this is going. We've seen it so many times. Taylor's in. And what a stupid goal to concede. What a way to do it as well. You just cannot write it, can you? Cannot write it to be like that. Unbelievable stuff. Oh well, let's go and make some changes, shall we? 15 minutes left. It's 1-1 with their only shot on target of the match. And we managed to get ourselves in an awful position. Thank you to everyone coming along as well. Great to see so many of you in today. I hope you're enjoying your Friday fix and I hope you've got a good weekend coming. Lee Evans is really struggling physically this year. I don't want to take him off though there. Vickers in goal. It's the one position we couldn't get someone. We were linked with Wes Fotheringham, but he wanted 10 grand a week. We just couldn't do it. So I'm going to replace Callum Lang with Caelan Hines, Michael Duffy with Jack Clark, and... oh, I don't know with the other one. I was going to say Satuta right back, but that doesn't help us. I think Tunnicliffe in midfield for White, just to give us that bit of bite in the middle. He scored the penalty, but he hasn't done a great deal else. We'll demand a bit more, we'll get them on the front foot, and we'll just hope something comes of it. Thank you for the extra thumbs up as well. Yeah, there's a little problem with YouTube at the minute, Tom. It's just buffering, it's a little bit slow as a result. So hopefully within 5 or 10 it should be fixed. But it's a YouTube problem. I've just had a notification as well. Lovely to wait for this timing, isn't it? It will get there eventually. We'll just have a chat instead. It's not my broadband, Craig. It's not my broadband. It's YouTube's. It's had problems all day. I've been struggling to upload videos and that. But the streaming bit had been fine till then. L Gaming, good evening. Welcome along. We'll just have a chat in the comments instead. You don't need to be seeing us throwing away games anyway. You got the audio of me getting absolutely deflated by that. I mean, how we've drawn that game again. The goal scoring problem's just not fixed yet. L Gaming forgot the time. Tom, I haven't been paying the bill. Steady on, son, will you? We've got the weekend to look forward to anyway, so not to worry. Plenty of fun to be had. Into the back post again. Oh, I'm just watching the highlights and I'm looking at them missed headers from shot on. It's absolutely devastating. But let's go and look. I mean, we're still only 3 points off the top 2. Hull have won again. That Aaron Connolly goal. Burton have got a win again. And we're down to 4th. That's the first time that's happened in months. So after 2 good wins, it's all dropping. So, Gaming, you said you joined Aberystwyth in your save. It won't let you do a coaching course. And I've been applying for jobs at the end of the season, but they're all laugh off interest. I know the feeling because I don't think the coaching course makes much of a difference, to be honest. Because at Breaking in the head coach, you've seen the struggles I've had in the first season. But we'll see how that pans out. Obviously, it's back tomorrow, and that game could change the series. So I'll be intrigued to see how that works out. But plenty to look forward to. Plenty of football coming up this weekend. Hopefully all your teams are in action. You haven't had any games called off. And we keep getting these messages about fitness. I'm almost tempted just to give them a week off. As in, give up one game and then have them all back fully fit. But I don't know how long that will last either. Aidan, good evening. Welcome along. Thanks for popping in. Lovely to have so many of you in the chat. I am keeping an eye on this YouTube problem with the buffering. It still says it's slightly behind, unfortunately. But it will get there eventually. We've got a week to get ahead to the next game anyway, so not too much of an issue. And I'll come and have a chat in the I'll come and get involved in the chat section if we need to. Because we're only skipping ahead trying to get there at the minute. But hopefully we're getting there. Usual Friday problems. They've all gone home probably. But we are into double figures again still, so thank you for your incredible support. And we've got 2 more days to go of this series, don't forget. So we'll have tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, both at 10:30. And that will be the end of the season. Hopefully we're okay there. Well, that's a big game, or it should be anyway. Ipswich v Peterborough. And it's 11th v 20th. Who would have gone for that at the start of the season? It's a very strange one to be in that position. Thank you everyone getting involved as well. Particularly in the comments. They've been so active in all of the videos over the last week and a half. I can't thank you enough for your support with it. It really has been appreciated. And we're almost through to Lincoln already. It's starting to go through a bit more swiftly. And there's something I've got to show you as well. Because my little off-camera save that I have every year, I wasn't quite sure what to do this season. And I've got a feeling, after we finish this year with Wigan, my little off-camera save is going to carry on here. And I'll show you why and check it's still the case when we get to Saturday. Because it could be a very, very interesting one. And something that I don't know if I've seen before. We're just 1 thumbs up away from double figures as well. So thank you to everyone getting involved with that. I do appreciate your support with it. And I can see even on my stream window that it's a good 3 or 4 minutes behind on YouTube today. Normally it's only 20 seconds or so. So that's probably where the action is. There seems to be a problem with their servers, but we'll be alright. I want to show you while we get here, and I'm going to wait till after Thursday. The reason for that will become clear in a moment. Let's go and have a look, because the team I want to show you are the team I'm going to be managing after this. It's pretty incredible, the story. And it's a team we've looked at already this season. It's a team that's already had a managerial change. It's a team that's already got a bit going on. But if we have a look at them, the reason I've come back on Friday is so we can go to the Premier League. The Championship's looking alright. It's pretty steady. Not too surprising, I wouldn't say. But the Premier League, Tottenham are still bottom after 23 games. Tom will like this one. They have not won a game. In 23 Premier League games, the Tottenham side at the start of the game have not won in 23 Premier League matches. Despite adding 1 more signing, despite not really losing anyone of any note whatsoever. I mean, probably the biggest player to go out was Jack Clark to us. But that team, how is it bottom of the Premier League? And if they get relegated, I'm going to take them over off camera. But there's more news to it as well. Because although they've 1-0 down to Bayer Leverkusen, they could conceivably win the Europa League and be in the Champions League next year. Absolutely, Gary. Time slows down on a Friday when you're waiting for the weekend to start. Unfortunately so. I think the problem is there's a lot more people on a Friday night, and we've only tried one before. Because last Friday, if I remember rightly, that's the only other day people have said about it as well. So maybe that's a learn for the future for me. Sweating my divisional rivals again tonight. Need to qualify for champs. See, you're too dedicated to that. I can't do it. I'm not competitive enough for it. I'm trying to look at the FA Cup. Spurs, they lost to Ipswich in the FA Cup. Alright, City in the Carabao Cup. But they could win the Europa League. We're going to have to keep an eye on that next Thursday. Because if that's the case, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a bizarre one, isn't it? So I can see the buffering still there. It's very slightly improving. But it's still about 3.5 minutes behind, which it never is, which is the unfortunate thing. Craig, thoughts on Wembley Way? You know my thoughts on that. I'm really not a fan of it. I'm really not. It didn't need to be changed. It's not something a council should be spending 18 million quid on at the moment. There's more important things to go, but what can you say? It's going to keep happening in the future, I'm afraid. It's something we've seen before. It's something I'm sure we'll see again. El Gaming, you might be going to Coleraine in Northern Ireland. So they were on the channel, the first head coach I ever did at the end of FM18. Coleraine featured in that series. I had quite a good time over there, actually. I think, because I've had 2 stints in the head coach where I've been in Northern Ireland, I think Colerane's the only one where I haven't been sacked. Or I've left of my own accord, so They have to be popular for that reason. So we're into the game today. We're at home to Lincoln. Carlos Sanchez has got a knock this time. Otterbor's back. Billy Gilmore's back. He has to come in for White, though, due to the loan rules. Clark will come in on the right wing. Duffy will go over to the left. Lang will drop out for now. I think that's going to be the squad for today. Don't need to change anything at the back. We're not letting in many goals. I know the one we conceded was pretty poor, but otherwise we can't be too disappointed. And we are getting there as well now, I think. Lincoln City got a good little side, actually. George Grant's up there. Callum Morton. George Grant we had at Luton, of course, a couple of years back. Liam Bridcut, experienced player. Joe Walsh, Welsh international. Alex Palmer's a good keeper as well. Good side, actually. The one thing I forgot to do in the tactics was switch over Gilmore and Evans. So there we go. Kick-off time at the DW and a real chance for us. We've got to get on front here. Here we go in behind. Oh, it's cleared by Jackson. Tilt gets up. It's not really a vintage performance so far, unfortunately. Thank you for everyone coming along as well and persisting. Please do get involved in the chat. It's great to have you along and talking football anyway. As Bridcut gets it back from Morton to Jenkins. He goes back to Jackson. Over the top. Tilt heads away as far as Evans and Offerball to Gilmore. Time on the ball again. He's going to go wide, I think, here. He's managed to get it out to Clark on the right-hand side. Clark gets to the byline. Oh, it's cleared away again. Quiteng finds Clark into Gallagher. He's hit a crossbar. We just cannot find the back of the net. It's so frustrating. Thank you for the extra thumbs up as well. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it greatly. We've got 2 more days to go in this, of course. We'll be here on both Saturday and Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. We'll learn our lesson about Friday nights. And hopefully we'll have some positives to come as well. It'd be interesting if nothing else. We are still struggling here against Lincoln though. It's not been a good performance to say the least. And I'm not sure where the positives come out of this. Because we're really struggling to get on top of these teams. And I just don't know what's causing it. We're struggling to put chances away. We're struggling to get on top. Although Jack Clark's in here. It nearly goes out for a throw-in. Oh, it's so frustrating. If this Wigan side could score goals, and it's something I struggled with last season when playing a 4-3-3. I don't know if it's just this tactic in FM, but other people get it working quite often. So, and I've never had trouble with it until last year. But Jack Clark surging through now. Oh, he's done it again. His shot's gone out for a goal kick beyond the edge of the box. It's quite terrible, really. Tottenham are going down terrible on everyone's saves. Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, whoever their researcher is has got something drastically wrong off the pitch because it's going so badly wrong. It just doesn't really make any sense. It really doesn't make sense at all. But there we go. We're still 0-0 here with Wigan. We have got a throw in though. And it's the long throw. And it's cleared away for another one on the other side. Are we going to be able to take advantage? That's the main question. I don't know that we are. Again, the expected goals is up. The shots on target is all in our favour. And there is nothing coming of it at all. It's really difficult to take.